yeah, I mean, if you can get that at 80 bucks, my bar is always going to have that on it because it's just such a great whiskey and an excellent introduction to what Jack Daniels can do at a very reasonable cost and at an available thing, hopefully soon. Welcome to Whiskey and SV. I'm your host Sam, and tonight we're going to be drinking some Jack Daniels products. So I have in my possession the latest release from Jack Daniels, the Heritage Barrel Toasted Barrel Tennessee Whiskey. And as you know, Tennessee Whiskey is basically a bourbon. I mean, at least the Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey is basically a bourbon. They could very easily call these bourbon, but for some reason they want to, for marketing purposes or whatever, they want to keep calling them Tennessee Whiskey. The only difference being that it has to follow all the bourbon rules, but it also is charcoal filtered, the Lincoln County filtration process, which is basically charcoal filtering it. And in their estimation, charcoal filtering makes the spirits smoother and more flavorful. Well, given Jack Daniels is my favorite American whiskey, I tend to agree with that. So this is supposed to be a shelfer, meaning it's supposed to be available for purchase, readily available for purchase without you having to chase it down too hard. But of course, whenever something like this comes out, they're hard to come by, and by the time the distribution gets it and gets it to all the stores, it takes some time. So a couple of weeks ago, when I saw this in one of the secondary groups, I got a little bit overexcited, and I was working, and my friend messaged me and said, "Hey, they have this," and I saw the picture, and it reminded me of an older special release, and I was like, "Okay, gotta do it." Didn't think twice, bought it. Was expecting to get it a couple of days later, so I'd be the first to review it. But unfortunately, the guy that I got it from took his sweet time. So by the time I got it, it was like basically more than a week later. And I was really busy with work, so haven't had time to really spend much time in it. But as soon as I did get it, I opened it and tried it, and I can definitely say that it was a pretty good whiskey. So I'm excited to try it. Going back to the first thing that when I first got it, right, I thought it reminded me of the 2018 because of the sort of the fact that it's a heritage barrel and it is blue. Although this is toasted, so the blue is a bit more sort of deep, darker kind of blue. The Jack Daniels release from 2018 was very similar specs, but it's not toasted. So it's a heritage barrel, 50%, it's basically probably about 8 years old, which I think this one is stated to be 8 years old. Although this is a single barrel, whereas the original release, I believe, was a batched release. So your mileage may vary with whatever ones of these you get. And I tend to think the releases they do at the start of a release are usually they're better barrels, and then they get worse over time. So if you can get your hands on one of the early releases, you should probably try to do so. So I thought it would be a good thing to try next to this. Now, price-wise, obviously, it's not going to be very fair because this is supposed to be an $80 bottle. I paid $220 like an idiot for it, but whatever. This one is basically in secondary now around $350. Anywhere from $325 to $375, I guess. And I thought we should put it through. We should put both of these against something that is aged. So I have here the Jack Daniel's 12-year Batch 3, which is the release from this year. And I thought, yeah, it would make sense because this one, in terms of ABV, is only 3.5% more, but it has 4 years more age. So presumably that will make quite a big difference. Okay, so I'm going to pour this out, and let's see where we get. All right, so we'll put number 1 on the heritage barrel. Well, the toasted barrel. We'll put number 2 on the heritage barrel, and we'll put number 3 on the 12-year. All right, yeah. So as I said, I'm super excited to try this out to see if this new shelfer bottle is a good replacement for the old, much harder to find variants, the special releases. So yeah, from what I remember when I tried it on Wednesday, it was pretty good, and it did sort of remind me of the other one, but I'm sure side by side it's going to be a different story. Um, I do think the 12 year should be the obvious standout here, and if it's not, that's a big shame. So yeah, um, okay, let's go with this and see what's going on. Okay, so as usual, we'll nose them first, give some notes, taste, give some more notes. Tell you which one I like the most, and make some guesses about which one's which, and then we'll go from there. All right, starting from the first one. I'm not getting the typical Jack Daniels sort of peanut note that I was expecting out of this. It's very inviting. Bourbon nose is like very sweet, caramel, vanilla, woody notes, brown sugar. Yeah, just very molassesy kind of sweet notes. Very, very cool. But yeah, none of that typical Jack Daniels sort of peanut note that I get. Okay, going to the second one. Getting more of the Jack Daniels character in this one. Quite similar, to be honest. I mean, I think on the nose I didn't get a huge amount of difference there. We'll go to the third one. Ooh, this has a much deeper, sort of denser notes to it. It has a little bit of that Buffalo Trace character to it, even sort of a bubblegummy thing going on. Of course, there's the predominant bourbon notes are there. Yeah, this has a little bit of a interesting extra oomph to it. Okay, let's all right. Let's taste them then. That's pretty nice. It's not as decadent as I was expecting on the nose. It has the right amount of sweetness and spices, but yeah, it was missing a little bit of something. I'm not really sure. I wasn't getting as much of the layers on my tongue as I was expecting from the nose. Yeah, not bad, pretty good, but not stellar, I guess. Okay, trying this one. Wow, that's quite oaky. Super nice. Very flavorful, lasting, lingering. Good mix of that oak and the sweet caramel notes. Lots of brown sugar. That is extremely nice. And yeah, it just leaves a very, kind of like chest warming, pleasant feel afterwards. Okay, let's go to the third one. Yeah, this one is the standout on the nose for sure. Much more oak than the other two. Significantly more oak. But it's well integrated with the rest of it. That's really nice. Yeah, the oak is much more dominant than the other two, I think. I think I need to do another round to kind of make my mind up. But so far, I'm giving the edge to these two. Can't decide really which one I like the most. This one is significantly beyond the other two, I think. This tends slightly towards a zest, which I associated with toasted barrels. I like dark alligator char, which is extremely like sweet, decadent notes. I feel like when they do toasted barrels, they're sort of not doing that charring as much. I could be wrong, but whenever I've had toasted stuff, I get a little bit of that citrus note that makes it not my favorite, to be honest. Go to the second one again. Oh, this is nice. That's very flavorful. It might even have better balance than this, to be honest. It's really, really good. It's just like nothing off-putting. It's like the perfect bourbon. um, yeah, I can't think of any way to improve that. Well, that's not true. It just hits the spots really nicely. I think, yeah, really great. Okay, let's go to the third one again. This is significantly more oaky. and the oak does get bitter a little bit. So I kind of like the bitterness. It's not like a bad bitterness. It's not a citrus bitterness. It's more like a dark chocolate bitterness. So I enjoy that. I like having that, like kind of coffee bitterness or dark chocolate bitterness in my mouth. It's nice. But I have to say this is the winner for me tonight. Yeah, it just has the right balance of everything. It has the right amount of oak, right amount of spices, right amount of sweetness. Lingers on and on. Super good. Okay, if I was to guess, I would say that this is the this is the toasted barrel. I would guess this is the special release heritage, and this is the 12-year because I found the 12 it was a bit too oaky compared to this. And usually I would like it a lot, but now that I'm having it next to something more balanced, I think I appreciate this more. Okay, let's do a reveal. This first one is number 1. Yes, so this is the toasted barrel. Okay, this is number 3. Oh wow, the one that I like the most and is most balanced is actually the 12-year batch 3, which makes this number 2. Yeah, so this is the heritage. Interesting. I don't remember the heritage being more oaky than the 12-year. Yeah, that's really surprising. I have to say, I think the 12-year batch 3 from this year is an insanely good whiskey. Like, if I come across more of them at a reasonable price, I will definitely buy backups because we've actually had it like when you don't have when you I've had it actually next to the 14 and the 14 edged it out. But given that the 14 is like more than twice the price, I would much rather have 2 of those than a 14-year. So I think I will keep an eye out, and if there's a way for me to get it, I will. As for this, yeah, for a shelfer, it's good. It's very very good. But obviously, it's not gonna be on par with the other 2 releases. Yeah, I mean, if you can get that at $80, I'm my bar is always going to have that on it because it's just such a great whiskey and an excellent introduction to what Jack Daniels can do at a very reasonable cost and at an available thing, hopefully soon. So yeah, for that alone, kudos to Jack Daniels, and thank you so much for putting such great products out. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Please join me next time as we taste more whiskey. Cheers.